What would Jesus want for Christmas? I would like to know. What would Jesus dream for Christmas, with or without snow? What would Jesus hope for Christmas? What would he welcome? What would Jesus wish for Christmas and the year to come? What would Jesus add this Christmas to his Santa list? What would Jesus want for Christmas? What would bring him bliss? What would Jesus want for Christmas on his own birthday? What would Jesus ask for Christmas? What would Santa say? What would Jesus ask for Christmas with his stocking filled? What would Jesus want for Christmas? What would be his will? What would Jesus want for Christmas if he had the choice? What would Jesus want for Christmas? Would you hear his voice? Would he beg for guns and iPads? Want the latest toy? Would he want a huge Range Rover, bling, or new Game Boy? Would he want a real-life pony or electric train, or an end to children's crying, hunger, war, and pain? What would Jesus want for Christmas? Can you make a guess? Would you believe he might go for a bit more of less? Less confusion, less corruption, less divisiveness, less of fighting, less of hatred, and less selfishness. Maybe something strange at Christmas would be in his heart. Maybe like a world of gladness, like a brand new start. Would he pick the gift of kindness over lights and fun? Would he prefer love at Christmas, shared with everyone? Still I found no perfect answer for the questions posed. I suppose it's hard to find them, eyes as good as closed. Yet as long as I have shut them, maybe I should pray. At least that way I might hear what Jesus has to say. At least that way I might hear what Jesus has to say. At least that way I might hear what Jesus has to say. What would Santa bring to Jesus on his reindeer sleigh? What would Jesus want for Christmas? I would like to